again, Doomers. Unfortunately, I'm back on a Saturday afternoon talking to you from the hellscape. It's currently raining and overcast in the hellscape, so I've decided just to see how the weather progresses before I take my jaunt, my daily constitutional, in the shattered remnants of nature that are still afforded to me in the hellscape. Uh, and yeah, essentially, I'm bored. I'm also bored because it's a Saturday and it's a slow news cycle at the moment. Uh, let's just check quickly. Now, I don't want to miss something. Yeah, no, it's still a slow news cycle. Sometimes happens during the weekends. Uh, the mainstream journals are presumably eating canapes, hobnobbing and networking, or doing other things that normies do. Uh, they'll be back when they finish their canapes. Uh, so I decided to chat to the Doomers just to pass the time. Voice is also a little bit fucked. I don't know if COVID is still inside me, fucking me up. But the voice isn't great. Oh dear. Cigarettes probably don't help. Um, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna talk about politics. I know in the last video I said I was going to talk about politics. I'm not going to do that. I'd prefer to chop off my left testicle with a rusty Swiss Army knife than discuss politics at the moment. So that hornet's nest uh, can fuck off. I want nothing to do with it. More particularly in these videos, I'm not really going to have a subject per se. Uh, in the last video, I was talking about Socrates, our peeps good, and I actually misspoke about Socrates, and that kind of thing makes baby Jesus cry. And I don't want to do that. And I absolutely do not want to do any preparation for these rants. It's supposed to just be a doomer, ad-libbing, rambling, giving out, raging against the dying of the light. So from now on, these kind of withering little rants won't be about specific subjects. They'll be about my day, or things that might have happened that were strange or annoying or noisy. So essentially, all of my videos will consist of me giving out about cunts everywhere. Uh, I was I was going to do a wee rant yesterday, but I couldn't for different reasons. Actually, yeah, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, Friday. It was an exciting day for the Doomers. All of the Doomers were giddy, uh, like a child on Christmas morning, all scattering about, laughing and cackling about the global outage. I did. That was very entertaining, particularly its impacts on air travel and the medical services. I enjoy those the most. But yesterday was also noteworthy for other reasons. You had uh, more peeps in Colorado being diagnosed with bird pox. Some bird pox seems to be doing its thing at the moment. Godspeed, bird pox, Godspeed. Uh, just need to get it into pigs. We, we need that bird pox and swine flu to get married. Uh, or not. I don't know. Different doomers have different views on on such matters. You also said that yesterday. You had the ongoing World War III stuff, always entertaining. Just one or two little unusual things. For example, uh, I read that chimpanzees have wisely decided to start eating bat shit in Uganda. Ah, cheers, chimpanzees. Cheers for that. So anyway, it was yesterday. I was a happy little doomer, checking this stuff, checking it, um, and where I am. Uh, so yeah, it's a two-story house, and my living room is yeah, on the bottom, but it's facing the street, and I can also see my normie neighbors' gardens and driveways and cars, that kind of thing. So yesterday, I was just happy out, sitting down, uh, monitoring the collapse of everything, and I noticed my neighbor. My neighbor, annoying chap. He's a guy in there. He has three kids, I think. He has two daughters, maybe aged 5 or 6. Good luck with that. And he has one little baby, infant, fucking baby, and they're called babies. Um, so he has one of those two. I don't know if the infant is a chap or a lady. Uh, but it's the one that always screams and is crying. He also has a white poodle that has a psychopathic temperament, and that leads the poodle to spend most of the day barking at a shadow or just anything really. But the man of the house, he's a house husband. Um, well, I don't even know if his wife works. So maybe he's definitely a house husband, but maybe she is a housewife, and they have a house because they've shot out 3 bambinos. And obviously, in the flesh puppet Ponzi scheme that we live in, we reward feckless breeding like that, usually by accommodating the families so they can continue to raise the next generation of wage slaves. We know that won't work out. It's not going to be great for those two girls in 20, 25 years. Not gonna work out. Not gonna work out for the lads either. They're equally fucked. But anyway, back to the house husband chap. Uh, he, he, he's annoying to look at because he's got sort of wee beady eyes, and he's also got these incredible jug ears. Uh, so he looks like a Mr. Potato Head. I won't hold that against him. That's just a matter of genetics. That's not necessarily blameworthy, but I associate him with a Mr. Potato Head. So I saw this fucking clown out in his garden, and I knew immediately, okay, this fucking idiot is doing something. So I knew immediately it'll be noisy and fucking stupid or absurd, whatever he's doing. But whatever it is, it'll mean that I can't continue to live in my living room because this fucking Muppet breeder is out in his garden doing something. Uh, so I was watching. I mean, he had this thing, and he was putting it up on the wall. I didn't notice immediately what it was, and then the penny dropped that it was a basketball hoop. Uh, he decided to affix a basketball hoop to the front of his house, but very close to my wall. So I was going, oh God, his stupid children are going to be out playing basketball. This isn't good. This isn't good. This will be annoying and noisy. And when I hear children having fun, sometimes I feel sad for them. Not as much as I did in the past, but sometimes it happens. Maybe I'm menstruating or something, and I just feel bad for little bastards. But no, 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 it wasn't for his kids. Uh, the prick, the jug-eared prick, spent 2 hours using the basketball hoop himself. Himself. So a grown fucking man was pounding a basketball essentially off my wall for 2 hours. Oh, uh, uh, yeah, I'm a nice guy. I'm a happy-go-lucky doomer in my way. I do get annoyed, and I do have moments where my patience is tested, and those situations I don't know what to do, don't know what's for the best. Because if you kind of quietly accept this nonsense, you're setting precedent, and then you'll blink, and tomorrow you'll have the fucking Harlem Globetrotters in his fucking driveway, or uh, you'll set up a kids' basketball fucking league in his garden. Yeah, so that's what happens when you quietly accept these fucking things. Uh, but then, if you challenge them, immediately go, "Oh my God, what's this guy's problem?" I'm just playing basketball. You know, it's my property. I can do what I want on my property. We'll see how that works out in a few years, lad. When the shit hits the fan, we'll see what your claim to private property achieves. Because on the first day the shit hits the fan, I'm going to hit you with a baseball bat. Uh, I probably will. I fucking probably will. Um, uh, so yeah, that was that. So I had to leave. Obviously, I couldn't uh, do a rant. I couldn't even check the latest in the Doomosphere. I had to leave. I decided not really to engage him, just gave him a cold stare as I headed off on my wander. Um, so I went where I usually go. I'm a pedestrian, so I can't walk ad infinitum. I rely on food energy to get places because I consider it to be the most honest system. Don't even use a bike. Don't even do any of that shit. I use my legs in the old-fashioned way. But as a result, I can't really, walk out of the city and into the countryside. It's not possible. So I have to rely on, the nature spots in my city. And I figured, okay, it's relatively late on a Friday. It was raining too, so I figured, if I wander out the canal bank now and off down one of the fucking trails, I should be able to get away from the pricks. Because it's raining and it's Friday, so I don't know, they'll be at the cinema or I don't know, tormenting animals somewhere, but they probably won't be out the canal bank, particularly the trails that I frequent. And I was right, there was nobody on the canal bank. So I kind of settled down, lit up a doobie, listened out for bird song, of which there was none. Uh, and immediately, and bear in mind now that I'm not even been fucking hyperbolic. Okay, I've no need to be hyperbolic anymore because these fucking pricks are just so good at what they do. So I settled and I lit up a doobie. It was just quiet and there was no flesh puppets walking towards me. Uh, Silent, no birds, nothing, dead. Um, and then immediately, at the same time, uh, they started some fucking sports match somewhere. Some kids' sports match started, and it must have been attended by all the parents who started shrieking, "Oh, Tommy! Tommy! Throw the ball! Tommy!" This kind of fucking crap at the same time. So I'm sitting there next to fucking a few trees, the last fucking trees in Limerick, Ireland, just trying to disconnect for a fucking hour. So then I have this fucking kids sports event, which is fucking terrible. A fucking prick started playing his fucking bagpipes. Then I had to listen to a fucking prick play bagpipes off in the distance. Just one, but if you're familiar with bagpipes, you will know that it only takes one prick with a bagpipe, and your head is fucked. I wouldn't mind he wasn't even good. He was practicing. Uh, so he was a bad bagpiper who was practicing. Um, I might know this is norm, about make noise. Yeah, so then you had this fucking prick on his fucking bagpipes. I don't know if maybe he was at the match. Maybe it's some kind of entertainment at the match where you have a musical accompaniment. So I had screaming parents, screaming kids, a bagpiper, and then an ice cream van, rolled into, because you're never far away from a residential area, even when you're in nature. So this fucking prick in their ice cream van came into the residential area and just drove around playing ice cream van music. I was sitting down just trying to smoke a doobie, trying to essentially come up with reasons not to jump into the River Shannon and just fucking end it already. And it was nice for around 4 minutes until the normies decided to do what normies do, generate a cacophony. We talked about it before. Normies are only comfortable if they're making noise. It's like a bizarre version of Descartes' cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. The normies version of cogito ergo sum is kind of I make noise, therefore I am. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just noisemakers. So the bank, just if I had a gun, I probably would have. Sitting in the fucking rain, just trying to have a few fucking minutes, and he couldn't even just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Oh god. So then eventually I came back to the fucking shithole where I live, And the guy I'm living with was just making fucking shitloads of noise, talking to himself and fucking sneezing and coughing and farting and fucking singing. And Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, uh, uh, and shit, it's the fan. I'll turn into a fucking cannibal day one. I'll be a cannibal the first hour. I'm not even going to eat for the 24 hours in advance of the shit hitting the fan, so I'll have an appetite. Boom. I know some of the dumbers are probably aghast. And you can't express these violent urges. Uh, we need to be like fucking Jedi Knights, like we Yodas in the Doomosphere, you know. Tolerate them, we must. Yeah, this kind of fucking doom zen. Yeah, I can't really achieve that anymore. No, fuck these people. Essentially, is my view. Fuck these people. Yeah, particularly the ones who might be standing outside now, listening to me. You know, fuck them too. Fucking pathetic. As you notice, I'm a wee little fella. I'm no Arnold Schwarzenegger. Uh, no Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I'm a doomer. So that means fundamentally, I don't care. I don't care what normies think. I don't care about their feelings. And if they do annoy me or try to intimidate me, fuck it. Fuck it. Yes. Yes. I've been looking for you all day. Thank you. Uh, I'm not saying I'm going to win the fight. It's not about winning the fight. Mm. I can't remember the last time I threw a punch in anger. It wasn't recent. Definitely wasn't throwing punches recently. When was it? I remember the last time my father threw a punch in anger. A completely deserved, but a very impressive haymaker that did put a very big smile on my face. Can't really go into that in too much detail here. So we won't talk about Doomer Dad's impressive southpaw antics. Uh, yeah, actually, I know I do. I do. I can remember the the last time I threw a punch in anger. So and I'm kind of bad, specifying particular dates. So yeah, maybe it was, oh Christ, it was a decade ago anyway. Yeah, one moment, lads. I'll be back in a moment. It's fucking ridiculous. Back in a second. The fucking wanker I live with. You can hear him on the stairs, and then he just stands outside my door, listening. I'll tell you when the shit hits the fan, that fucker's. Anyway, yeah. Oh. Um, so, and the last, I know it won't be the last time I ever throw a punch in anger. I might throw one in anger today. Might go apeshit today. Might go apeshit any day. Everything's on the table. You know, it's about us now. It's about doomers doing what they believe to be right. even if that means hitting some juggier chap in the face with a baseball bat. Um, or, if somebody's standing outside your door listening, breaking their fucking legs so they never make it away from your fucking door. Oh yeah, the last time I threw a punch in anger was probably a decade ago. I wasn't a black hat doomer at this stage, but I was no wise a fan of man. I would have been a dyed in the wool black hat Marxist, but coming out the other side, we talked about this before, whatever. Uh, so I didn't like people because over the course of my life, I have been subjected to indiscriminate random violence, as were all of my friends, and that gave us somewhat of a jaded view. Uh, so might talk about that in a moment. But the last time so I was at a nightclub back in the day. I went to nightclubs, or more specifically, my libido brought me to nightclubs. I would not have been in the nightclub if I didn't have a penis. So I would frequent the nightclubs with my friends, uh, looking for uh, a nice Fraulein. Nice Fraulein. Uh, uh, but yeah, so as a nightclub finish in Ireland, I don't know, two, half two. Then usually that's when you're told to fuck off, and that's the way it was 10 years ago, not 2013, 14. Um, and I'd leave the nightclub with my friends. They'd jump into a taxi and fuck off to their neighborhoods. I always kind of liked walking home. At this stage, I only lived maybe 15, 20 minutes from the city centre, so I could just stroll home, have a cigarette, and decompress kind of after the onslaught of noise that I had to endure in the nightclub. So I was doing that. I was just wandering home, and now at this time I had long black hair. I was kind of heavy metal sort of dude. Lots of black, that kind of thing. Boots up to my kneecaps, which did it kind of drew a lot of unwelcome attention. And as I said, uh, I was subjected to a lot of violence as a result. But yeah, we'll return to that. So I was walking home, smoking a cigarette, kind of thinking my thoughts, and I noticed these three fuckers were kind of walking towards me on the other side of the street, but there was no one else around. There was no traffic. It was a very quiet Friday or Saturday night. Most of the people who were out decided to get cabs. So I was the only fucking little dude walking home. And I saw these three fuckers, and I live in a place called Limerick, Ireland. It's a shit hole. Just ask the Irish doomers, ask Donald McCarthy or Éine or the other members of Void, Voluntary Order of Irish Doomers, and they'll tell you Ian's not lying. He lives in a fucking shit hole. Uh, my city was previously called Stab City because that was the preferred method of murder. Since then, the gangsters invested in guns. They spent a few years shooting each other. Now, I don't know what they use to dispatch rivals. I don't really care. Uh, yeah, I don't care. But it is a rough city, and if you're walking around my city, you have to be wide. Be wide is Hiberno English or Irish English, and essentially it means be vigilant, be careful. So you were coming to Limerick, someone would say, "Oh Jesus, be wide when you get to Limerick." That means don't let your guard down. Expect there to be filth everywhere, and just pay attention. Pay attention. Uh, so anyway, I'm quite wide. I don't notice people unless I think that they might want to have a pop at me. Then I kind of tune in again. Oh, this person will probably attack me. I'll pay attention to him, but the other ones, no, no, fuck them all. They barely exist. Don't pay attention. So I saw these three fuckers, and they were there in their tracksuits, and I could hear them from a long way off because they were bellowing. So I knew immediately that they were intoxicated and very loud, and they were wearing the uniform of a scumbag. So I was paying attention. And as I was getting closer, they were across the street, and I could see, but they had me spotted. And one of them started patted another guy on the shoulder, and he laughed. And the guy started coming over across the street. No traffic. There was no cars. So he started sauntering over, and this quasi Conor McGregor fucking walk. Oh, bud! But immediately, when you hear that, oh, it's gone, boys, or sham, or, this kind of shit, okay, this guy's a prick and he's going to try something. He's a prick and he's going to try something. Now, at this stage, as I said, I was subjected to violence numerous occasions, as were my friends, which we'll talk about in a minute. Um, so I was just fucking sick of it. It's like I'm just walking home from a nightclub. Yeah, literally now I'm 7 minutes from where I live, and there's pricks, and they're gonna try something, and this fucker is gonna try something. So that best defense is good offense. Hit the fucker in. Hit the fucker. The second he comes close to you, hit the fucker. Yeah, it's as strong as you can. Hopefully he falls down, smashes his head off the curb, and expires. But just fucking try to punch through his fucking head. So I had decided, yeah, fucking a little bit closer now, you fucking goal. Um, and again, no, it wasn't me being Black Hat Doom or going out looking for it. I was just walking home. This guy was obviously coming over to steal my shit or again to assault me. So I wanted to hit him, and he was coming closer. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit you, dude." But I'm a wee fella, you know, and I'm also a short fella. I'm Napoleonic. I'm a Napoleonic doomer. Um, so yeah, I'm a short guy, and this guy he wasn't short, so he had kind of a foot on me, he was taller than me. So I waited for him to get really close, and then I had at it, swung as far as I could, but a strange thing happened. Uh, I'm short, and he was tall, and I tried to connect with his chin. But because I'm short, or I was shorter than him, I didn't connect with his chin. I couldn't reach his chin. So I ended up punching him in his Adam's apple by accident. So, boom, into the Adam's apple. Ah! So I fucked up my punch. I fucked it up. And immediately it was like, oh, Jesus Christ, you didn't even hit his face, and you're punching a guy in the fucking throat. But immediately I realized, oh, this is excellent. This is fucking excellent. Because they thought I did it on purpose. They thought I was some kind of fucking ninja. And your man was kind of fucked up. He wasn't expecting to get walloped in his Adam's apple. Uh, so that was the last time I threw a punch in anger. And he did. No, I didn't. He didn't go pan out, but he had to go down onto his haunches, and he was just kind of confused. He didn't really understand what just happened. But his friends then and him, they just left me to it. I continued walking on quite casually. Now I was the one doing the Conor McGregor walk. Fuck off, lads. Go home, get your shine box, you bunch of bitches. Uh, so that was the last time I threw a punch in anger. But as I said, I was subjected to a lot of violence at the hands of normies or clueless fucking morons uh, for decades, essentially. The more observant amongst you will probably realize that this eye is kind of a little bit lazy. Kind of hangs down like that. That's from one assault where a guy kind of just smashed me in the side of my face and sent me to hospital. A lot of blood that time. The most Yeah, yeah, actually, but again, me and my friends, we were subjected to a lot of violence because we were the heavy metal kids in a very rough city back in the 90s and the early noughties where you couldn't express any kind of individuality or singularity because that would distress the normies and they'd have to extirpate, your difference through punches. Um, so it wasn't just me, obviously I got leathered once or twice, but my best mate on X, I call him my doomer best mate. He was the same. He was stabbed in the skull by a scumbag normie. He stabbed him in the skull with his keys. So my friend he was stabbed in the skull with keys, and they were kind of lodged in his skull, so he had to go to hospital and have the keys removed, and obviously get his skull seen to. Uh, but were they the guy's keys? Was this scumbag fucking normie so stupid that his chosen weapon were the thing that he needed to open his door and go inside his house? I don't know. I don't know if they were his keys, but he decided to use them to stab my friend in the skull. I had another friend, an ex-friend. I don't talk to this guy anymore, but he was schizophrenic for a few years, and he was given to profound delusions. So this guy thought that he was in a relationship with Miley Cyrus, and that she talked to him through the television. And I was one of the few people stupid enough to actually continue my friendship with him during this period, trying to keep him anchored to some semblance of reality. But occasionally I'd have a little bit of fun because you're just listening to wall madness. So, there has to be something in it for us. And as I said, he thought he was in a relationship with Miley Cyrus. Uh, so one day, playfully, I just said, Jesus, friend, you could do a lot better. And he flipped out, threatened to kill me because I besmirched Miley Cyrus. His same guy went to a concert. She played a concert in Dublin, and he went up on his own. Apparently, he got tickets in the VIP section, but he was surrounded by kids and their families because, they were the people who went to see Miley Cyrus. And then he was sitting amongst them with his big fucking mental head. And when he was going up, he was going, "This is her last chance now," because she was communicating with me through the TV. So she needs to say something on stage to me, and this kind of thing. I remember when this was happening, me and my doomer best mate, we were kind of checking the news because we were expecting this chaotic or lunatic incident to happen at the Miley Cyrus concert, but there wasn't. There wasn't. But that guy, the schizo fuck, He was also subjected to a lot of violence. His nose was broken so many times. The surgeon said to him, "If anything happens your nose again, uh, you're not going to have a nose. You know, it'll be flat. You'll have an any nose. Your nose is gone," because his nose was smashed up. Every other fucking weekend, it seemed like this fucker had a broken nose again. Um, so yeah, the other guys also had their scrapes. As I said, yeah, fucking this lazy eye is from a guy with knuckle dusters bum. Uh, yeah, it was nice. And uh, oh yeah, there was one. Yeah, this is when I started to really question fucking normies and their moral, compass. I remember, uh, so I was 17. I was 17 as a little heavy metal kid. So this was been back in the fucking, 1997, where Limerick was very uniform, and they certainly didn't like a little fucker walking around in cradle of filth t-shirts. You know, Jesus is a cunt on the back, or lesbian nuns, or this kind of shit. And I had spikes. I wore spikes. All this fucking. I had a chain from my nose to my ear and long hair. Sometimes I wore a frilly Lestat shirt. I had a frilly Lestat shirt. I thought it was quite fetching. So it's the kind of chap that you would see. You'd notice me in a crowd of normies. You go, oh, tracksuit cunt, tracksuit cunt, tracksuit cunt. Weird fucking cunt. Um, so I was in a relationship uh, at the time with a Wiccan. She was a Wiccan witch. She believed in white magic, and she'd talk about this. And apparently she had some kind of battles with black magic witches and warlocks that I never fully understood. And her bedroom was kind of full of amethyst crystals and this kind of shit. And I just kind of go, yeah, cool, whatever. Um, so I was with her. I was with the Wiccan, and we decided to go to the public park. There's a public park in the center of the hellscape, relatively untouched since it was opened in the midish 1900s. So it's quite nice. I like to visit there still and just imagine what it was like back in the day when there weren't 8 billion fuckers on the planet, and you might be able to enjoy one moment's peace and fucking quiet. Uh, but back in the day, I went there with the Wiccan. It was a lovely sunny day, so we decided to, sort of lie down. I was very chivalrous. I put down my leather jacket and or lay down on that bit of canoodling. Nothing outrageous. Just a little bit of heavy petting. Next thing I know, anyway, I started making out with my Wiccan girlfriend, and you just hear in the back, "Can I try on your jacket?" I can't really do the local scumbag accent, that kind of thing. In Limerick, scumbags speak with a particular intonation pattern. It kind of sounds like na 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 na. And I went to the supermarket, and then again, I can't really do it. But this cunt, he was speaking like that. I looked up at him, and I knew this guy in particular. He caused problems for one of my friends before. So I know maybe, okay, shit's gonna get kind of bad, particularly because he wasn't alone. He had some of his ne'er do well friends. So it's gone, no, you can't try on my jacket. No, you can't. Fuck off. Um, so I told my wicking girlfriend, time for you to pop off, love. There now, if you don't mind. Just kind of, well, the going's good, because these barbarians could easily punch her or two. They're fucking capable of anything. So anyway, it's kind of gathered around me, and the obvious happened. They assaulted me essentially. So, well, I went down kind of quickly. I don't know. It happened very quickly, but somebody punched me, good one, and then there was kicks. But when I was down, I was trying to shield my head because they were really keen on kicking me in the head. Now they achieved a few kicks. You can only protect yourself so much. But they really went to town on the abdomen too, just kicking the fuck out of me. So there were 7 scumbags just kicking the fuck out of this clown in a Lestat shirt in the public park on a Saturday at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. And the assault must have lasted, yeah, it felt longer than it presumably lasted. So if I, yeah, maybe 30 seconds, which is a long time when people are kicking you in the fucking head. So you'd prefer if it was a shorter duration, ideally. But these fuckers were kind of trying to kick my head off for 35 minutes. And the thing is that all of this happened in front of maybe 200 normies. 200 normies. It was a very sunny day. Maybe there was a heat wave. So they were all in the park. Uh, 200 normies, plenty of grown men, and just various ages. So they were all kind of just, continuing their fucking picnics, watching me get assaulted by, again, I don't even know the number, but it was definitely between 5 and 7 guys, and they were trying to kick my fucking head off my body, and none of them did anything. Bystander effect. Just continued on. Just, look at that guy getting the absolute shit kicked out of him. Uh, 10 meters away from me. Look at that. Now, I don't know, maybe they agreed with the scumbags. Look at this guy wearing his heavy metal shit. He deserves to be put back in his place. Maybe that was the motivation. Eventually, one or two men did intervene. Eventually. But yeah, for a while I thought, okay, this is just gonna fucking go on forever until they do kick me into a fucking coma. Just looking around, sort of because the fuckers fucked off then. And I was trying to get up, and I wasn't feeling great. I was feeling woozy, and um, my ribs were fucked, and there was already kind of bruising, heavy bruising developing. So I kind of thanked the guys who did intervene whilst casting a very cold glance around at the other fuckers who did nothing, absolutely nothing, except watch. Yeah, this was in the days before smartphones. I have no fucking doubt if it happened today, they'd have all just taken videos of it, had giggles, that kind of thing. It was one of the first times I sort of thought normies are a bunch of cunts, absolute bunch of cunts. Um, I don't know why we started talking about violence. Uh, oh yeah, when shit hits the fan, we'll be going bananas with a baseball bat. Yeah. Mm. Oh yes, yeah. So I was out the canal yesterday, and the bagpiper and the fucking football match or hurling match or rugby match. I don't know what it was, but it was a loud match, and the fucking ice cream van playing Roger Ramjet, the theme song from Roger Ramjet on a loop. Uh, so I scurried away. It's like I can't. It's just hurt my brains, or my brain. So I made it back home. This fucking shithole. Um, Tried to do a rant, and a fucking spastic outside. Had a guest, which is fine. Whatever. I know people that like guests and visitors and having the chats about bollocks. Decided to do it out in the hallway for like fucking 40, 45 fucking minutes. So I had to actually leave the house again because I was worried that I'd fucking smash an empty beer bottle over his fucking head. Ah, they're just so difficult to endure. Every fucking thing about them is annoying. So, and I'm done with this. It's starting to brighten up. It'll probably rain again. I don't know. I'm going to fucking go to one of my haunts in the hope that these normie cunts are off in a shopping centre buying shit, and they're not where I go. But I know that or the second I get there, something will happen. 100% something will happen relatively immediately, and it'll be something that you couldn't even fucking write, you know? Is something that absurd. Like, I'll be sitting in a fucking field and I don't know, a crew will come in and start break dancing next to me, or something fucking like that. And I'm just fucking pissed off at the moment. I'm just sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of spending my whole day tense, just waiting for one of them to fucking do something stupid. But anyway, I'll be flame on today. There'll be a few fucking throat punches. Gonna fuck up everyone's throat. Old Ninja Ian uh, flying around Limerick, punching fuckers in the throat. Oh, Christ. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's sunshine. Sunshine. Lovely, lovely stuff. Um, well, no, that's not actually good. Oh, sunshine. It's not good because it was only quiet for a little bit because it was raining. That's the kryptonite in Ireland. Normies can't handle the rain. Good luck with that, lads. Here's your fucking passport. Fuck off. But usually, yeah, the rain is sufficient to empty the streets of filth. But they'll all scurry out now. Fucking ghetto blasters or fucking power hoses, some other fucking thing. Uh, so the sun is, yeah, it's not necessarily awesome. So hopefully I'll get a little bit overcast. Light drizzle should be sufficient to scare off the fuckers. So hopefully I'll get a little bit overcast, a little bit of light drizzle, and I'll be able to take my daily constitutional. But even then, it, something, uh, something will happen, and I will tell you. I'll tell the doomers. So anyway, as I said, when I do these things now, from now on, I'm not going to talk about a subject. Uh, uh, Doomer Rant. Uh, let's talk about Just Stop Boy. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. Essentially, it's me just gonna fucking giving out about normies. Um, if you have an interest in the three E's, energy, ecology, economy, yeah, follow the Doomers on YouTube, the Environmental Coffee House on YouTube, or Prof. Elliot, Climate Casino. You can follow that, or just follow the Doomers on Twitter. Then you'll get all of the good stuff: bird pox, global outages, World War III, and the economy crashing on the down low. But for these yokes, essentially, it's just going to be me giving out about shit to pass the time and to achieve some level of cathartic release. So I don't go outside and smash that jug-eared bastard next door with a baseball bat yet. We'll save it. So anyway, yeah, I bid you adieu, domers. You will all have to endure normies today. Ultimately, it's your decision how best to interact with them. But yeah, just make your decisions. Yeah, bye bye.